In.
Indubitably.
First a boy and then a girl.
Bullet through the windscreen, meant for Bond. Gets Diana Rigg. She's dead.
He was wonderful when we killed her. I kept him hanging around. I got him so nervous and agitated. He was so angry with me. It was wonderful. When he did the scene, he had that look of complete anxiety.
It's all right. It's quite all right, really. She's having a rest.
I actually had the book with me because when I read the book, I cried at the end. So I said, I'll use that. And I had it there, and Diana Rigg was laying on my lap.
We'll be going on soon.
I was reading the book beside her head, and I got the same feeling, same emotion. And I actually cried. Tears ran down my cheeks on the first take, and Peter said, James Bond doesn't cry. Do it without the tears.
There's no hurry, you see. We have all the time in the world.
It was the most powerful one. It was the first one they left in the cutting room.
You must remember that was the sixth Bond at that time. It was an entirely different ending. And it shook everybody. It was great.
Really poignant end to a Bond movie, which I don't think any others had. Normally it's just, let's snog, we'll shag soon, and meanwhile we'll get whisked into the air by this huge plane that's going to drag us up by a winch. It was very touching.
I think it is just a great film, and it was great that Lazenby did it, and it's a shame that he didn't go on to do a few more.
And the very best ever Bond is still to come. It's bound to be revealed. Welcome back to Best Ever Bond, your favourite moments from the first 40 years of 007. In that time, nearly half the world's population has sat down to watch a James Bond film. And the only ones disappointed were those that didn't get there from the start.
Pre-title sequence are absolute strokes of genius. I mean, they're mini-movies in themselves.
Whose funeral is it? Yours.
The beginning bits are always brilliant because that sets you up just on the edge of your seat. You never know what's going to happen.
You have these set pieces. It's part of the Bond legacy now. You go to the movie, you hear the music, and you want big stunts. And it's how do you give bigger bang for your buck?
And at number 6 in your Best Ever Bond countdown, an epic pre-title sequence with a twist.
It's a chase sequence up until the point when you reveal that there is an end to this mountain. You know, it doesn't go into a valley and to safety below.
There's nowhere to go. What the hell's going to happen? We know it's the beginning of the film. We know he's got to escape. We can't imagine how it's going to happen.
When the sound goes, that is a great moment because that's not going to happen often in a Bond movie when everything disappears.
And it's an amazing shot anyway because there's no digital trickery. Somebody's really going off a cliff and then falling.
Michael Wilson saw in Playboy a still picture of skiing off a cliff, and he said to me, "What do you think of that?" I said, "Well, God, that's fantastic, but can anybody do it?" He said, "Well, I think I can get the man through the picture."
You have to understand that I was on what the Brits call the dole. I'd completed a year as a ski instructor and was going on unemployment, and suddenly I get this call, "This is London," on the phone.
And he confessed, I really didn't jump off. They had me up there, and then They dropped me out of a helicopter. But I could do it, he said. I could do it.
I went off to Mount Asgard, which is in the Arctic Circle. It was a finger of rock that rose some 7,000 feet in the air and had a vertical face of over 5,000 feet. I took with me a very small crew.
There were just 11 of us, including a doctor, who I'm glad his services weren't required. An undertaker would have been more like it.
We couldn't do the jump unless the wind speed was 2 miles an hour or less, because Rick would have been blown into the face.
Bad weather set in the second week, and things were quite tense. And then I heard rumors that calls are coming from London every day. Has he done it yet? Because the course were mounting. I was kind of secretly rooting against good weather. Oh God, it's bad weather, I don't have to do it. Another day of living, you know?
After waiting 2 weeks, they got about half an hour of sunlight. What they needed, the backlight.
The last minute before you do it is sort of terrifying, actually. You know, you said you're going to do it, and now you have to do it. And you've checked with all the cameras, and they're ready. And you say you're ready, and yeah, I guess you could back away from it, but it's going to look bad. It's going to be a big mess. Better just to do it.
Once everything was in position, I said, Rick, don't forget you're James Bond. Go.
You do a sharp intake of breath. This is it. You really feel that that moment you're doing the most insane thing of any one of the 5 billion plus people at the time on the planet. It's a bad moment.
You think he's gone, and this music stops, and he's just gone. You think, oh my God, that's it. That's it. He's gone now. And everyone just goes berserk. Yes! It's the Union Jack, right? So, how British?
Oh, you know, it's just kind of, yeah, we're off and running. Brilliant.
It's absolutely ridiculous, but those are the moments that you live for in a James Bond film.
Something I hadn't thought about was once the parachute opened, the skis caught up with him, and one of them narrowly missed him and went down past him, and the other one hit the canopy.
He just got away with it.
Nobody does it.
I felt a lot of relief. You know, I think the line that went through my head was, it worked.
Baby, you're the best.
We brought Rick back up to the top of the mountain in the helicopter, and he was wearing this yellow suit, and his face was green. He looked like he'd just come down from Mars, you know. He was sick as a dog.
It worked. I survived. I was a very happy camper.
Of course, I would have done it myself if only they'd asked. But next, at number 5 in Best Ever Bond, we feature one of the film images of the 60s. Just shows how much you can do with a lick of paint.
I think the image of me painted gold, nude, looking nude, was a first.
Bond first meets Jill Masterson helping the evil Goldfinger cheat at cards.
He's holding on to the 6 of spades, so I guess he thinks you want it. That last draw was the 8 of hearts.
What? So soon?
She was a sophisticated girl, knew her way around, I think, but wouldn't be taken advantage of.
You're much too nice to be mixed up in anything like this. Now hear this, Goldfinger. Your luck has just changed.
Then meets James Bond and falls for him, which was very easy with Sean.
Now start losing, Goldfinger. Shall we say $10,000? No, let's be generous.